My name is Amitesh Pandey and I'm here to share a very personal conviction of mine. And let me build this talk by sharing a small story with you. And this story will reveal two important things. First, that we human beings have failed to take the advantage of the advancement of technology we have, which we think we have, by the way. And second, the more important thing is the reason behind this wrong perception is us. So friends, the story goes like this. I was traveling to an airport and I was standing in this frisking queue where I was about to give my laptop in this laptop tray for checking. I saw this advertisement. Some genius mind had thought that a person standing in a frisking queue about to give his laptop for checking is a captive audience to something which I want to sell. Now friends, this may sound very natural and convenient to us because we are used to getting information given to us and we assume it to be a bigger part of the whole communication strategy. But friends, this was beyond that. This was not just a part of the communication strategy, because I started seeing things like this very regularly, right from the airports to computers to even swiping machines. The moment I swipe my card and punching my PIN, in that millisecond, in that small screen, I started seeing advertisements. Friends, we are living in a capitalistic society. Communism has failed us, and whatever human development which we have done, it's because of the capitalism. But with 100 advantages comes one disadvantage. And in this case, the whole new frontier of capitalism has been opened up. And the main point of this frontier is just to monetize every bit of your head space. They are trying to monetize right from your presence to your absence, right from your presence to the silence also. Mind you friends, your silence can be commoditized. The reason you pay those extra bucks in the business lounges on the airport is not to get those extra facilities. It's just to get away from the chaos of the airport. See here, the silence is getting monetized. Friends, continuing my story. After the frisking queue, I was standing on the handrail and the escalator. There I saw this handrail. And the interesting part is, at the beginning of this handrail, there was a scribe written. It wrote, "You are in charge." So friends, the interesting point over here is, the main point of these advertisements is not just to give you information. The things go interesting when the interesting part comes when it goes just from providing information to eliciting reactions, to controlling your human behavior. And this is where things get dangerous, when things get started to control, when human emotions are getting controlled. And friends, the reason, if you analyze closely both these two instances, there is one thing that lies underneath both the two important aspects of these two incidents, and that is the importance of attention. Friends, we are living in an age of attention crisis, where our attention is getting diverted, where everybody is trying to distract us. So this is the age of attention crisis we are living in, and I am here to speak about this era of disturbance we are living in, and how we as a human being are very vulnerable to these loud calls of attention. And we respond, this is our fault, because we are responding very weakly, both mentally as well as physically, to these loud calls of attention. And at the end of this talk, we'll see that how we can actually survive in this age of distraction. So friends, attention is at the pivot of human evolution. We feel that we human beings are the most superior race on this planet, and attention is at the epicenter of all this. If you see the word attention, it comes from the Latin root called tense. Tense means to extend to something, stretch. For example, if I'm interested in this laptop, I'm extending my personality to this laptop. This is attention. And friends, if you analyze closely, attention has played a very important role. So let me explain you by going back ages. So when human evolution was there were three important revolutions that happened. First was cognitive revolution, second was agriculture, and third was scientific revolution. Among them, in cognitive revolution, there were two kinds of races that coexisted. One was Homo sapiens and other was Neanderthals. And friends, we human beings right now are the evolutionary product of Homo sapiens, while Neanderthals, they are extinct. There must be some reason why they are extinct. Let me tell you that. Homo sapiens believed in three important aspects. First was the understanding of forms. Second, understanding of behavior. And third, understanding of dialogues. And for all these understanding, attention is the most important thing. If I'm not paying attention to what someone is speaking or someone is behaving, I won't be able to decipher what it is. While on the other hand, Neanderthals' perceptual and cognitive ability declined because they misunderstood all these three things. And while they fought with each other, they killed each other, and that's why they're extinct right now. And we human beings are the evolutionary product of Homo sapiens, and we are the most superior race on this planet. But friends, have we really done justice to what this importance of attention is? So let me share you one survey done by Microsoft. They did a survey in year 2000 where they checked the attention span of human beings, and it was hovering around 12 seconds. When I say 12 seconds, means I can concentrate on something with 100% attention and with 100% recall memory. Now they did the same survey in year 2014, 13-14. Our attention span decreased from 12 seconds to a staggering 8 seconds. Just to give you a perspective, friends, the attention span of a goldfish is at 9 seconds. Just pause and think for a second. I mean, really, goldfish? Are we comparing ourselves to that? So we are really going down there. And friends, one of the more important aspects of us human beings are we need to see things at a very personal level. Unless and until we are not seeing things at a very personal level, individual level, we won't start acting on it. So let me share you a personal incident. So this is my laptop screen. I was trying to read an article, and today the web page is built in such a way that instead of being full of information, it is full of distraction. And I was trying to read an article, and there were multiple hyperlinks in that article. And we human beings, being a curious race, I clicked on that hyperlink to know something about that. It took me to another web page. I clicked on that hyperlink also, and it took me to the third web page. So after 5 minutes, instead of reading that article, I was checking India's England match score. So this is the age of attention crisis we are living in. And friends, the danger is not clicking in the hyperlink. Mind you, it's not the problem. The problem lies you are not coming back to read that article again. This is where the problem lies. This is where we are living in an age of crisis. This is a situation of crisis where we are diverted from everything. And friends, for us human beings, we need to understand the side effects of not paying attention, the side effects of being in a noisy environment, the side effects of being distracted from everything. So let me share you something that you can all relate to. Today, friends, we are all surrounded by technology. We all have cell phones. So have you ever happened to you that you have a cell phone in your pocket and it's ringing? You feel that it's ringing, it's vibrating, there is a message, there is a tone. But when you take out, there is nothing. There is a scientific term for it. It is called ring-anxiety. It's a combination of ring plus anxiety. Friends, scientists had termed it as phantom vibration syndrome. And syndrome is something which we relate to disease. So what happens? Why that anxiety part? Why that anxiety part comes? Let me tell you that. So whenever we are in primitive ages, we used to live for only one thing: survival. We used to survive from all the predators which we have, and to survive, we used to depend on the surroundings. We used to depend on the noises that comes from the surrounding. Whenever there was a noise, our mind, our brain gets attentive, and we'll start responding to the noise. Responding to in which way? By doing three things. One, flight, fight, or freeze. And for both fighting and flighting, we required energy. So whenever we hear any noise, for example, we hear the rustling of the leaves from the bushes, so our mind gets attentive. There was physiological reactions that happened to us. And in that case, there was hormone release. That hormone is called cortisol hormone. Friends, this hormone is responsible for the adrenaline pump which we have right now. This hormone is responsible for that. And we required that hormone because we were fighting and we were flighting. But friends, physically we have evolved, but there is still a small part in our brain that belongs to that predatory brain, that belongs to the primitive ages. So whenever we hear a noise right now also, even if I am concentrating on something but hear any noise there, my conscious mind does not attend to that noise, but my subconscious mind is still there. It's still, that noise still gets registered into our brain. Still that cortisol releases. But now friends, we are not fighting and neither we are fighting. So what happens? We're sitting right there, so adrenaline pump is there and our hand starts getting sweaty. Our pupils start getting dilated. Friends, the hormone which I'm talking about, cortisol hormone, it's called as stress hormone right now. So it's increasing the level of stress in your body. And that's why if you analyze people living in a very noisy environment, they have very high level of stress. So this is the situation. And one more thing, that whatever we have seen right now are the physical evidences of distraction. And as I stated earlier, that things go interesting when we cross the physical barrier, when the definition of external object, when the definition of commodity changes from physical to invisible, changes from tangible to intangible. So let me give an example of two intangible distractions in our life. So if you are supposed to ride a bus in South Korea and you are passing by a Dunkin' Donut shop, so there they spray the smell of Dunkin' Donut and coffee right into the ventilator of the bus. Friends, you can forget physical perceptions, you can forget visual, but you cannot forget smell. And even if you don't notice that there is Dunkin' Donut shop, they'll play the jingle of Dunkin' Donut in the background. And even if you don't recognize a Dunkin' Donut, the driver and the conductor will tell you that look at that side, there is Dunkin' Donut shop. If you are supposed to walk a mall in US, there they play a kind of music that you won't be able to hear it because it is played at such a frequency, but it gets registered into your brain. And this music contains words like burgers, French fries, McDonald's, company's name. And the moment you reach the food court, the fourth floor, it starts reacting into your brain. You start feeling hungry, you start feeling the urge of buying these things. This is the level of control they are exerting. And this is where things get interesting. Friends, and why this fuss about attention? Why this all the private players are behind this? Because attention is a very scarce resource. We have this much and we can use only this much. And this is why the importance of attention rises. The scarcer the resources, its importance rises. For example, oil and gold were once one of the most scarce resources, and that's why it was the economy was built upon that. Today, the era is of data. The company or the country which is having more data is valued more. You are not valued by the amount of asset which you have, but you are valued by the amount of data which you have. After 5 to 10 years, it will be attention at its core. Attention economy will creep in, where everybody will be behind your attention. So friends, if attention is a scarce resource, there is one resource that is unlimited, and that resource is human potential. We human beings have always come across every crisis which we have faced, and I'm damn sure that we will be going with this also. I recall a quote from Thomas Edison that if we start doing things, if human beings start doing things that we are capable of, we will be astounding ourselves every second. And I'm sure that we'll come out of this situation by doing very basic things. Let me tell you a very basic thing. So one of the most basic thing is self-regulation. That's it. Keep things, those who are distracting you, away from you. Keep your cell phones away. It makes noises, so keep yourself away. This is a small self-regulation habit which you need to develop. But friends, as attention is a scarce resource, so is the self-regulation concept. You have this much and it can take you to this much only. So to form a focus and attention building habit, you need to start using your 5 senses. Just take back a second and I'll ask you a question. When was the last time you built something material using your five senses? Just think. It's quite a long time. Start doing that. Involve all your 5 senses, hand, ears, everything, smell, everything. That if you build something material, there is a sense of ownership. There is a sense of authority that creeps into your body. And this kind of reactions will elicit a more focused and attention-oriented physiological reactions in your body. And this will increase your focus and attention. Start learning new music. Start learning a new foreign language. If you start doing that, there are new neural networks that forms into your brain. There are new incision of neurons will be there into your brain. And this new incitation will subsede the predatory brain which we used to follow, the primitive brain. And this is where our attention span increases. And this is where our vulnerability to distraction increases. And we'll start being more focused toward things. And friends, I'll end up with an anecdote from Andrew Carnegie's life. He is famous for his rags to riches story. He was one of the most wealthiest man on this planet. So the government thought that he had made some illegal measures to come to this position. So they called him up and asked him, why? How did you do that? And he told one thing, that I can concentrate on one thing for 5 minutes without getting distracted. This was his reason. Friends, attention can do wonders to your life. I'm telling you, it can really do wonders to your life. Stop getting distracted, start self-regulating, and I'm sure in this era of age of distraction, we'll not only survive, but we'll thrive. Thank you, friends. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you so much.